Acting humanly would mean I want a robot in a library to take a book from the particular student who is returning the book, take it to the shelf where it is supposed to be stored, do the necessary shifting of books and place the book over there. Now, if I'm talking about such an appliance, which is a robotic appliance, which will have to have movement abilities, which will have to have visualization abilities just to avoid the obstacles between his current location and the rack where he wants to place that particular book. Then it will have some mechanical abilities to raise the appendage using which it will place that particular book. I am deliberately not using word hand because hand will make it humanoid. I don't want to call it humanoid. There will be some appendages that will lift up if it wants to keep it in a rack up, or it will lift down if it wants to keep it in a rack which is at a lower level. So that is what acting humanly would be like. Okay. So these four definitions that you see over here, they are from the book, chapter number 1. So I would suggest you to go and read that part, which actually gives a nice historical perspective of how these AI team got into the computer science, okay, and how people started talking about AI as a discipline of study. Okay, so if you see the first definition on left top, it reads something of this sort. Again, the definition is not complete in this slide. Okay, you see these three dots, it indicates that you have only given the keywords. The exact definition you need to find in the book chapter. Okay, the automation of activities that we associate with human thinking. Activities such as decision making, problem solving, and learning. Okay, it's not limited. Okay, so we are able to take decision to eat ice cream or not to eat ice cream, to do or not to do. So see things like that. Everything that you take a decision on कि मुझे आज स्टडी करना है या आराम से घर पे सोना है, मुझे लेक्चर सुनना है या लेक्चर ऐसे ही चालू रहने दो, वैसे भी रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है, बाद में मिलेगा. Okay, all these things are your abilities to think like human. Okay. Then on the right top, we have the study of mental faculties through the use of computational models. We'll talk about this later. I'm not talking today about the word rational. I'm talking only to the left side of this particular definition. So the study of how to make computers do things at which at the moment people are better. So do things में आता है कि आप अपने environment को, यानी जिस particular problem को आप describe कर रहे हो, वो problem के कुछ characteristic होंगे ना, उस characteristic को, environmental characteristic को आप manipulate कर रहे हो, you're changing it. That is what this acting usually would imply. Okay, so these are again definition. These two people, Rich and Knight, there is a nice book in AI which is there for both the syllabus as a text, as a reference book. वो ऑथर के नाम से जाना जाता है. So if you search on net with Rich and Knight, so Rich is the name of first author and Knight is the name of the second author. This is also a good book, but its perspective is different from your syllabus. तो जिनको बुक पढ़ने की आदत है, जो जिनको अच्छा लगता है बुक पढ़ना, they can actually refer this book as well. But as far as the syllabus is concerned, the book that I showed you, and I have put it in the chat window, its page is like this: Stuart Russell, Peter Norvig, Artificial Intelligence: A Modern Approach, name of the book. Even the second edition would do, but if you have third edition, why to go for second edition? ज़्यादा ही होगा third edition में. So you could refer to either second or third edition, both will do. This I've already kept it in your chat window. You can access it over there. I've also kept the index of a set of slides which are not what are released in this book. ये बुक का वेबसाइट पे भी आपको स्लाइड्स मिलेंगे. इसका जो आई गेस टाटा मैग्रा-हिल का है ये, नो इज प्रिंटर्स हॉल. सो पीएचआई पब्लिकेशन के वेबसाइट पे भी आप जाओगे तो आपको सेट ऑफ स्लाइड, बुक स्लाइड्स मिल जाएंगे. I'll give you that link as well. Pearson Education का है, या Pearson Education के साइट पे आपको इसके स्लाइड्स मिल जाएंगे. लेकिन ये स्लाइड ऑथर के खुद के हैं जो मैं यहाँ पे आपको दिखा रहा हूँ. So similarly, you will also these slides will also be useful to you. So I'm going to stop it today here. But before we leave, I'll tell you what is there on this right hand side. तो ये तो हो गया कि ह्यूमन का जो है वो रिप्लेसमेंट ढूंढना। आज जिस काम में ह्यूमन एज एन एक्सपर्ट काम कर रहा है, उसमें अगर कोई मैं रिप्लेस करके वो मशीन से करवाता हूँ, तो एआई का यूज करता हूँ। दिस वाज हाउ एआई वाज डिफाइंड अराउंड 1991। So you'll see that 1978 में हम लोग सिर्फ सॉफ्टवेयर के बारे में बोल रहे थे। 1991 में हम लोग एक्चुअली अप्लायंसेस के बारे में सोचना शुरू किए। यू कैन कनोट दिस टू the development in the computational abilities of the digital computers by 1991, because earlier हमारा कंप्यूटर कितना बड़ा था, फिजिकली वो टॉल बिल्डिंग जितना था। एक कंप्यूटिंग डिवाइस वैक्यूम ट्यूब के वजह से इतना बड़ा होता था, जैसे ही डिवाइसेस छोटे होने लगे वी कुड थिंक यूजिंग देम इनटू एन अप्लायंस। And nowadays we are into the journey of learning things about internet of everything, sensor networks and all those stuff. Okay, it really scares you, it really scares me as a human being कि हम लोग कहाँ जा रहे हैं। But please understand that ultimately all these things we are developing as artifacts, and they will be definitely are there for betterment, not for making our lives worse. ये याद रखो। Okay, the word rationality, before we leave, 4 minutes are there for me to talk about. Humans जो होते हैं वो डिसीजन मेकिंग में बहुत बार रैशनल नहीं होते। वी मेनी टाइम्स टेक इरेशनल डिसीजन। टेक द सेम एग्जांपल, मैं जब थॉट प्रोसेस कर रहा हूँ कि मुझे आज आइसक्रीम खाना चाहिए या नहीं खाना चाहिए, देयर आर लॉट ऑफ इनपुट्स दैट आई रिक्वायर। पहले बार मेरे पास आइसक्रीम है या नहीं, अगर मेरे पास है तो वो कहाँ पे है, तो वहाँ रीच कर सकता हूँ या नहीं। फॉर इंस्टेंस, सिटिंग इन द कॉलेज आई कांट गो होम एंड थिंक दैट मैं फ्रिज से आइसक्रीम निकाल के खाऊंगा, राइट? देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, बट देन आई कैन be a irrational person. Although I know ice cream khana is season में, with the pandemic there, although it is there with me, is not a good idea. Still, just because I want it, I will eat it. Okay, we many a times take imprecise decisions. We many a time, even with knowledge of all the alternatives, we choose an alternative that doesn't lead to success, or that doesn't lead to maximum achievement. As a human being, we many a time take decisions which are not rational. I'm not saying irrational, they are, but they are not rational. So rational decisions are those decisions. Once I give everything that a particular entity requires for taking a decision, then if the entity is taking the decision which is going to give it the most reward it can receive in that situation. For instance, I'm playing chess and I'm reaching up to a particular situation where, okay, I can either lose the game by making my next move, or I can take certain steps such that the particular board can lead to a state of yes no type of situation where nobody wins. It's a draw kind of situation. तो इसमें क्या करना चाहिए? Human being, if you are already bored and you are played for long enough, you might think that चलो जाने दो ये गेम, अगले गेम में हम लोग सोच करेक्टली खेल लेंगे, इस बार जाने दो, हार ये गेम जाने दो. It's a multi-turn tournament. You may think as a human being, चलो ये चीज जाने दो. But as a machine, it will always think about, अगर मैं ये करता हूँ तो ड्रॉ होता है, ड्रॉ will actually fetch me this particular point. So ये tiredness, ये thinking का unrationality will not be there if the chess playing instrument is a program of a human being. Okay, so human being से computer program थोड़ा अलग तरह से वही thought process को use करेगा. It will use it rationally. That is, you'll add this property of not just being intelligent, but being rational, being able to take decision which will optimize the benefit that you reap from that particular exercise. Okay, I hope you have understood what do you mean by what these terms generally mean: AI, DS, ML, then data science, and DL, deep learning, because these are the themes and terms that you will be able to hear again and again. And you will understand, you must have understand already that AI is a discipline which has a much broader scope. Okay, And whereas MLDL, these are techniques, even the data science are also set of techniques. MLDL techniques are concentrating on learning to solve a particular computational problem in a better manner. DS, on the other hand, is trying to uncover interesting things that the data talks otherwise. Okay, that is how we are leaving this lecture. We are